Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another video. This is actually a live stream, but if you're watching this on the replay or listening to this on the podcast, glad to have you here. My name is Rob Balasabas. Excited to be here. I haven't live streamed in quite a while, actually, to be honest. I've been uploading mostly vlogs and tutorials. And if you guys have caught the Have You Heard About series that I'm doing recently, I'm 2 videos in and got some more videos in the works with that series. So pretty pumped, but glad to be here with you guys and talking about this topic of how I manage my time. It is actually, oddly enough, one of the pretty common questions that people ask me. Not that I think I do more than most within a given 24 hours in a day, but I guess just sort of the different hats that I wear. It comes up as a common question. So wanted to say what's up to Andrew. Glad to have you here. Thanks for the comment. Glad that you like that channel trailer or the live stream trailer on YouTube. Glad that you like that. Thank you so much, man. Excited to see you, Andrew, in Los Angeles. You and Tiff next month. We'll be there for our family vacation. So excited to hang out with you there. Hopefully we can grab lunch or hang out for sure. And also my man inside the lab with tech, Terrence. Hey, what's up, Andrew? Saying what's up, Andrew? Awesome. Awesome. All right. So real quick, if you guys are watching this live or watching this on YouTube, please make sure you're subscribed. Want to make sure that you're subscribed so you see all the new videos coming up and all the live streams that are coming up as well. And also, if you're watching this on the replay, then at least let me know in the comments that use the hashtag replay. That way, I know that you're catching this on the replay. And if there's anything that you want to add to the conversation, make sure you do that in the live chat or in the comments. All right. All right. A couple of housekeeping things here before we dive in. First thing, really excited. Next week, I'm going to be in Orlando for VidFest. All right. So if you guys are familiar with VidFest, VidFest was actually born out of PodFest, which has been running for quite some time now. It's run by Chris Kermitsos and just his awesome crew, Wendy, Andrew, the entire PodFest, VidFest family there. It is an awesome event, and I'm going to be there. I'm going to be hosting a panel of YouTube creators and also a talk myself. They're allowing me to talk on stage, which is really cool. And I'm going to be doing that all about becoming a full-time creator and what that takes. So I'm going to be doing that and hanging out. We're going to be doing a meetup, actually. So I'm going to be going as on behalf of USCREEN. And so we actually have a meetup that's going to be happening on May 26th. That's Thursday, May 26th at the Orlando Hilton. And so if you guys live in Orlando, if you guys are going to be in Orlando, then make sure, hit me up. I will make sure that I link to this event here in the either show notes, in the description, in the live chat. I'm going to make sure that we do that so you guys can catch this. Okay. So I'm going to put it in the live chat now, but also we'll put this in the show notes as well. Oh, I've got a call from Doc. What's going on, Doc? Okay, Doc. I don't know if you're seeing me. I think Doc is calling. That's funny. You guys probably saw that on the screen. So Doc is calling. I think he's going to be going to Seattle. And I told him, hey, you got to come up to Vancouver. So there we go. All right, a couple more housekeeping things here. So we've got that going on. That was funny that Doc called. And all right, so VidFest. All right, so that's it. That's the only housekeeping thing I wanted to share with you guys today. VidFest, Orlando, meetup next week. If it's already past May 2023, then it's already done, where we've left and gone home from Orlando, and we'll be on to the next event. All right. But yeah, if you guys are going to be in Orlando, let's hang out there. All right. Yeah. Sammy, good to see you. I'm doing really well, Sammy. Thanks for coming by. Really excited to see you here and catch up. All right. So today, guys, I want to talk about this question: how I manage my time during the week. Now, I want to share some tools with you guys. I want to share, some of the processes that I have. Listen, I'm a pretty busy guy. I know everybody's busy, but, I'm a pretty busy guy. During the day, I'm the head of partnerships for a tech company. And I'm going to say what tech company. If you guys know what tech company, then let me know in the chat or in the comments or send me a DM on Twitter if you're watching this on the replay or on the podcast. But I'm the head of partnerships during the day for a tech company that helps a ton of creators, almost, I think, 30,000 content creators all over the world build revenue streams from their videos. So if you guys know what company that is, let me know. Actually, you know what? It's USCREEN. All right. So you guys must know. I'm wearing the hat, for goodness sake. So that's my day job during the day. Now, I also have this growing personal channel, right here on YouTube, or if you're listening to the podcast, YouTube, head over to YouTube. And so I've got a growing personal channel as well, which has opened up tons of doors for me. Funny enough, I don't actually share too much, but I'm actually having to turn down recently different opportunities through my personal channel, which is kind of interesting. Being in the middle of the content creator thing, the content creator economy, even with a small channel like mine, that there's opportunities that are opening up for sponsorships and brand deals and all sorts of things, and so I'm having to turn that down, because like they say, when you say yes to something, you got to say no to something else, right? So if you guys agree with that, let me know. And then outside of that, I'm also a dad, I'm a husband, right? So I'm very mindful of how I spend my time during the day, during the week, during the evenings, during the weekends. It's constantly something I'm thinking about, I'm trying to optimize, and I'm trying to do better with the time that I have during the week, right? Be productive, but also rest. We're going to talk a little bit about that as well. So I want to talk about some of the tools that I use and also some of the processes that I use. And so let's just jump right in. I've got a lot to kind of share with you guys during this quick little session. And then if you guys have any thoughts, any comments, any questions, drop them in. All right. So Michael G, I see you. Awesome. And yes, that's right. There you go, Terrence. USCREEN. All right. So if you guys want to check out what I do during the day, uscreen.tv. That's what we're all about. All right. So the first thing, some of the tools here I want to share is, first thing is email. So email, because of the nature of my work, is a big part of what I do. I do a lot of emails, right? I do a lot of communications. I do a lot of that kind of stuff. So, so we're going to go into here. So what I do with emails is I'm on Gmail. All right. Gmail is my go-to. That's what I use. And yeah, there you go. Gmail is what I use for personal, and also at work, we're on Google Suite. So we're very much on Gmail. But this tool, and I've talked about this recently, so you can see it on the screen here, is a tool that I've come across. It's called Superhuman. Now, Superhuman is a tool that overlays on top of your Gmail, makes things so much easier. I've been able to get to zero inbox, meaning no emails in my inbox. The beauty of Superhuman, and there's a whole video, and I'll try to put a link to it somewhere, in the cards here on the screen for you guys watching the replay. But I have another video actually where I talk about that. You'll see it right there. And it just makes it so much easier. There's shortcuts, there's templates, there's snippets. You can really, send your email to come back and remind you and things like that. There's shortcuts to your calendar. There's shortcuts to, introductions, which I do a lot. I introduce lots of people to each other all the time. There's just a lot of things that you can do that really optimizes your time when it comes to handling your emails. Now, they've recently also launched on Outlook. So if you're using Outlook and you're not using Gmail, then it works for that as well. All right. So there you go. That's my tool when it comes to emails. It's honestly saved me so much time. Now, it's not free. It's also not cheap. All right. It's $30 per month. But if you have a network, like I have a bit of a network, I have a tiny little network, and they have a referral program. So if you refer somebody to Superhuman, they get a free month. You also get a free month. So far, I think I have 3 free months now. I've been on this tool for about a week and a half or so, and I don't have to pay for the next 3 months. All right, just by sharing, Superhuman with other folks in my circle. All right, so Superhuman, that's my tool. Now, when it comes to task planning, all right, we're task planning out all your projects, all those things. Notion is my go-to. Now, I've used Asana, I've used Trello, I've used, what else is there? ClickUp. I've used all sorts of project management, task management tools. Notion has been the best by far, all right? Fortunately enough, it's also the one that the team at USCREEN uses, or my team, the team that I'm on, uses. And so I'm on Notion for both. The beauty of Notion is just like emails, just like your Twitter profiles or Instagram, when you have multiple profiles, personal, work profiles, you can toggle back and forth between the two. And so Notion is my go-to, and it saves me a ton of time organizing my tasks, all of the things that I'm doing, projects, all of that stuff. All right. Mantis, good to see you. What's up, my man? Good to see you. Awesome. Awesome. All right. Now, meeting management. If you do a lot of calls, if you do a lot of meetings, Zoom calls, connections, partner calls, customer calls, what have you, virtual coffee, coaching sessions, for all of that stuff, I use Calendly. Okay. Calendly integrates amazingly with Google Calendar, which is what I use. Like I said earlier, I'm on Google. That's my go-to. And so this works great. All right. So Calendly, I have a link that I share with people, and you guys can see it here real quick. Right here, they actually have a Chrome browser extension. And so I have installed that, and I can get my links really quickly, just like that. All right. So there you go. Okay. Let's go back to that screen. And there you go. All right. So Calendly. All right. That's my meeting management tool. Saves me a ton of time. I don't have to go back and forth sending people my times and dates that I'm available for a Zoom call or coffee or anything like that. I have Calendly for all of that. If they want to reschedule, they can do that. Calendly does it automatically, syncs up with my calendar, like I said, has reminders, all of those things. So actually, in fact, it's probably saved me a lot of cancellations because Calendly will remind the person at a meeting, whatever, 24 hours, 12 hours, 4 hours, 1 hour before the meeting. And so if they, for some reason, say, oh, yeah, you know what, I totally forgot about this meeting, let me reschedule because I'm actually not available, it will do it for me. Calendly will do that for me, and I don't have to touch anything. It just shows up as a canceled call or canceled meeting, and then the new calendar event. So it's all there. All right. Awesome. And then now the last thing in terms of tools that I think is worth noting is I sometimes have to come up and do a longer email. And so I'll actually, instead of sending a longer email, sometimes what I'll do is I'll send a video message because it's just a lot easier than typing. All right. Again, saves me so much time. All right. And so for that, I use a tool called Vidyard. Vidyard is awesome. And so you can send video messages. There's a Chrome extension for it as well. Chrome plugin. There's also a mobile app. It's free, right? So you can use all of that. This particular part of Vidyard is free. This video messaging part is free. Now there's going to be a watermark, and there's some things that, you may want to then upgrade to remove. But for the most part, Vidyard is free. The version that I use anyway is free. All right. And it's helped me a lot. And, recording a message by video, either just webcam or sharing your screen as well as you talk, so it's an easy time saver, saves me time from typing a long-winded thing, taking screenshots and things like that when I'm talking to different people, different partners, different customers and clients. All right. So there you go. All right, now I want to get into some of the processes. So I want to get into some of the processes. Those are some of the tools. Let me know if you're using any of those tools. Let me know if there's other tools that I should be looking into or trying out or testing out. But those are some of the core tools that I use to manage my day, manage my time. All right. Just notice that this USCREEN watermark is still on the corner here if you're watching this on YouTube, which is all good. It's all good. We'll leave it up. No problem. All right. So I want to talk about some of the processes, some of the, best practices that I would recommend for anybody out there. Again, I have not perfected this productivity thing, but these are just some of the things that allowed me and helped me to really manage my day and my time. All right. So the first thing is I only try to do now with the help of Superhuman. Right here, Superhuman again. By the way, if anybody wants to check out Superhuman 30 days for free, let me know in the comments, in the chat. Hit me up on Instagram, LinkedIn, or somewhere on Twitter even, and I'll get you the link to get a 30-day free trial to check this out. But I only now consciously, intentionally only do emails 3 times a day. Once in the morning, I'll go through my emails. and I'll shut it off, right? I'll close Superhuman because it's its own app. I can close it once in the afternoon, usually right before lunch or after lunch, one or the other. And then at the end of the day, usually around 3 or 4 p.m., I'll check my emails again, right? And so before, I was checking emails pretty much all day. I was in my inbox all day. My email inbox was my to-do list, right? As bad as that sounds, my inbox was my to-do list, and that is a horrible way to do things. You never want to do that. Hey, what's up, Jeff? Good to see you, Jeff. Glad that you're back, bro. I'm glad that you are back. I love the vlog. Excited to see you continue, get back, doing things here. I love seeing your face, bro, and seeing your videos. All right. Good to see you, Jeff. That's Jeff Geronimo. You guys go check out his channel. All right. All right. The next thing. So emails 3 times a day. That's a huge, huge time saver. It's a huge game changer in terms of my productivity and being able to manage my time. Not only my time, but also my headspace. I'm thinking about emails less. It's just, I think there's a lot of like passive anxiety, right? Passive like anxiousness when it comes to emails. When you have a full inbox, depending on the type of person that you are, I think sometimes that has a lot of passive sort of stress that you don't notice is actually taking up a lot of your headspace. And that's what it was doing for me. The next thing that I would suggest is context blocking, right? Context blocking. So if you guys aren't familiar with context blocking, basically what I try to do now is that there's different types of tasks that you manage, right? Different types of tasks each day. So sometimes you're working on creative tasks, right? Sometimes you're working on administrative tasks. Sometimes you're working on strategy, right? And so if you are going from, sometimes you're doing phone calls, right? If you're going and doing like a creative task for 30 minutes and then, administrative task for 30 minutes and then another 15 minutes of a quick phone call, you don't get into a groove of being really optimized in terms of that particular type of context of task, right? And so what I do now is I context block, right? There's a lot of energy that's lost and a lot of time that's lost from context switching, right? And so what I mean is like, you do 15 minutes for a phone call, then 30 minutes for strategy, and then another 20 minutes to do a creative, to design a thumbnail or something, another 20 minutes then after that to do an interview. So rather than doing that, you look at your day and you look at your calendar and you say, okay, Monday mornings is all admin work. Not going to talk to anybody. I'm going to do my emails. I'm going to do my billing. I'm going to do admin work, right? The afternoon after lunch is all creative tasks. I'm going to record podcast interviews. I'm going to record intros and outros for podcasts, things like that. Tuesday morning, I'm going to do my phone calls, all my meetings. It's going to be on Tuesday. Afternoons on Tuesday, I'm going to do all my strategy, right? And so you get into a groove, right? Just like a big, let's say one way to look at this, just like a big train, right? It takes a little longer to get started, right? It takes a little longer to, get moving and get momentum. But after a while, you're going a little faster, right? After, 15, 20 minutes, that train is going super, super fast. It's unstoppable, right? Super, super fast. If you're doing that, and if you're changing too often in the day, 15 minutes for this type of task, 20 minutes here, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, then that train doesn't get to go at its highest speed, because that's just like us, right? It takes time to slow down, switch mindset, switch everything. And so context blocking, context switching, look it up, look at your calendar. Are you doing too much of that throughout your day? Because that's going to kill a lot of time, right? It's going to waste a lot of time. Right? You're going to be more productive if you context block. Okay. Articles. Okay. Articles are a time killer sometimes. Now, throughout the day, you're going to get messages from friends, from colleagues, and say, hey, look at this article. Like, hey, check this out. Hey, check this out. If you're going to go on LinkedIn, you're going to see an article like, hey, look at this. Look at this. All right. I leave all of those articles. I save it. I save the videos even. Some people will say, hey, check out this new video. Check out this YouTube video. On YouTube, there's a thing where you can put watch later, right? You can create a list of watch later, right? So let me see if I can do it here for my chat. So like for this video, like, okay, cool. I can go here and I can go save to watch later. Do you see that? Okay, save to watch later. So if you get YouTube videos, watch it later. And then later on, you can go to YouTube, right? You can go to your channel and you can go library. Where is it now? I lost it. But yeah, you can go to your watch later library, right? So right here, and you can go to watch later. I can't find it now, but trust me, it's there. You can watch, you can have a list of watch later videos, right? Same thing with your blog, blog posts and articles and stuff. Save it in a tab, close it. And then at the end of the day or during lunch or after lunch, one time during the day, go through all of the different articles, read them. Because again, if you're reading them as soon as you get them or as soon as they're shared with you, that's going to take up a lot of your time. All right. It's going to eat up a lot of your time. Next tip, work with music that has no vocals. That's me anyway. For me, I can't work when there's people talking and people singing into my ear. Silly as that sounds, it's such a little thing, but no vocals. So that's why I tend to anyway. I mean, everybody has different musical tastes, but for me, chill hop, lo-fi, that kind of stuff works really well. It makes me really productive. All right. I time block my lunch. That's how I manage my time. Make sure you time block your lunch. Otherwise, you're not going to take it. So you need to take a break. You need to step away, right? You need to step away from the work. You need to step away from your desk, right? You need to go and eat, get some air. Lo-fi girl. Yeah, that's it. Thanks, Jeff. So time block your lunch, all right? Also, time block all your personal things in your calendar. So depending on your job, depending on what you do, time block all your personal stuff in your work calendar. If you're comfortable with that, okay? Calendar blocking, yeah. Okay, so I know that sometimes, you have personal things and you have two calendars. You have your work calendar and then you have your personal calendar and all that stuff. Now, this might not be for everybody. I'm just sharing what I do is that I have everything in one calendar. So if you guys were to see my calendar, you'll see all my work, meetings and calls and events and everything, my flights to conferences, everything that I do is in one calendar, including all of my personal stuff, spending time with my kids. I've got things, I've got play Monopoly with, my daughter. It's on my calendar, right? It's on there. As silly as it is, it's on my calendar. That's just the type of person that I am. Maybe that's you, maybe it's not, but everything is in one calendar. Okay. Having multiple calendars for me is just too much headspace. It's just too much thinking. Am I thinking, is this it? Or like, which calendar am I looking at? Okay, is that my personal thing? Okay, does that conflict with my personal stuff? Or am I available? Am I actually available on that day or that morning? Is there something going on? So I have everything there. I have like pick up the kids from school. All of that stuff is blocked off because, again, it's all one calendar. It's not like I have two calendars in life. I have one calendar. I have one schedule. I have one day that I'm working with. So everything is in one calendar. Okay. I try to clock out by 6 p.m. most days. Today is an exception. You probably once a week, to be honest with you, to be super transparent, I'll work past 6 p.m. But most days, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m., I am done. I close everything. Team is understanding. That's the culture here at USCREEN. It's all good. And so once a week, maybe I'll do a live stream like this, or I might work a little later to do an, editing or something like that. Maybe I have to do a phone call that's late because somebody's overseas or something. There's a reason. I try to do that once a week. It's not a set day in the week. It's just kind of play by ear. If I know that I'm already working late one day in the week, then I don't make an exception. I'll say, okay, well, you know what? Let's try next week, right? So that's usually how that works. So clocking out on 6 p.m., having a pretty decent time out to end your work day. Okay. West Side. Hey, what's up? Good to see you, Mr. Riley. Good to see you, man. Good to see you. There's a tip here from Jeff. He color codes the category, which is great. Home, work, content creation for YouTube. Yeah, color coding. I actually do that as well. So yeah, good. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for sending that in. Color coding your categories for your calendar. That's awesome. All right. Next thing is I don't work on Saturdays. That's just a hard It's a hard no for me. I've had to turn down some speaking invites on Saturdays. Saturdays, I just keep it very, very like guarded. That's for me, it's Sabbath. Saturdays are my Sabbath day. And so I don't work. Um, I'm hanging out with the kids. I'm doing stuff. I'm planning for the family and making sure that there's time there that's protected. That is for family time, personal time, family time. Now, there's exceptions when I travel. Like, for example, next week, I'm going to be going to VidFest, like I said. So I'm going to be out of town. I'm speaking on Saturday. And so I'm just going to move that day to something else, right? So it's very important that you do that. Even if you don't have a family, for your own, you're spending time with loved ones, spending time with yourself, right? Just doing something else. It's very, very important. I think that's super important. Otherwise, you're just you're gonna burn out. All right, you're gonna burn out. I've also tried to eliminate as much editing as possible. So for the content creators out there, I'm talking to you guys, not Adventist, just I'm Christian, so I just take Saturdays out. It's just Sabbath for me. That's very important. There you go. So next one is, so for the content creators out there, I eliminate as much editing as I possibly can from my content. Now, the most editing that you'll see me do is probably my vlogs. Those probably have the most editing of like cutting and all that stuff. You know how it is with vlogs, jump cuts and all those things. That's probably the most that you'll see, but even those are super minimal. I try to stay with like 3 or 4 music tracks. I try to simplify my content as much as possible and eliminate as much editing as possible. The next thing, Pomodoro apps. Tomato timers are lifesavers. All right, that's a very, 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 very important thing to be using. If you guys aren't using any of those, look those up. Pomodoro timers, tomato timers is really good for productivity and also for managing your time and forcing yourself to walk away every 15, 20, 30 minutes from your desk, right? And lastly, I just try to simplify my home office so that I can jump on a video call or record content with very little setup or disruption in my setup. Like you guys will see my videos. It usually looks like this. This is it. Other than vlogs, this is usually my setup. And so I try to keep it as simple as possible. I wish I could show you guys my desk, but my desk, I try to keep it fairly minimal and organized. And so that there's not a lot that I need to do and shift and take up again a lot of time to do one thing and move to a call to go from, another task, right? So there you have it. I want to take a quick look at the live stream comments here. Teachers on Fire says, I import my work calendar into my personal calendar so that I can view everything in one place if needed. Yeah, again, great way to do it. Again, I was saying this is going back to my the way that I do my calendar, which is I have one calendar for everything, which is all good. But if you have multiple calendars and you're doing things to sort of sync up your calendars, that's great as well. So the less that you have to do, the better. I figure. And again, not everybody is able to sort of have their personal things on their work calendars. But if you can, definitely suggest doing that. But this works as well. Teachers on Fire. Thank you for sharing that. That's great. Very good. Saturdays. Okay. Jeff Geronimo is saying here in the live stream, Saturday is where my content creation starts. Hey, it's all good, man. All good. I'm sharing what works. And I mean, I'm sure, Jeff, that you have your day where you take off, hopefully, right? Again, you want to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and avoiding burnout. It's very important to do that. It's, we're not built to be doing this 7 days a week. It's just not possible. So hopefully you are taking one of the days off somewhere, or half a day, a couple times a week, to really just step away from everything. And honestly, I've been doing that for, I want to say, for like a couple years now. And I look forward to it. The first couple times when I took Saturdays off, I didn't reply to messages, every now and like, I was always worried, like, hey, what's going to happen? Sunday, I'm going to open things up again, and it's going to be like such a mess. But you know what? Sunday comes along and everything is fine. Everything is just fine. So, the world did not, melt down. It's all good. Work is still there, and your channel is still there, and your viewers are still there, and things still happened. And it was fine, and you could take that time off. You can, walk away, and know that everything will be okay. And so it also allows you to kind of reset, right? It's really important. Also allows you to kind of reset your mind. And for me, it allows me to refresh, come back with some new ideas, some fresh ideas that I didn't think about, because sometimes you're too close to something, right? If you're too close to something, you're looking at this like bottle too closely, you don't see the whole thing. You got to walk, you got to push it away a little bit and like walk away from it, separate yourself from it. And then you can see like the whole picture, and you say, okay, well, you know what? I'm not seeing this part here and this part and how this connects. I think there's some opportunities. There's some things that are in my blind spot. And if you're too close to something, you don't see those things. And so you got to step away a little bit, get away from it, right? With a little distance and some separation. And then you can see the bigger picture. And then, Monday, Sunday, whenever you decide, you can jump back in and then do your thing, right? And make those changes, make those tweaks, right? Leverage some of those opportunities, some of those things that you forgot about, right? Didn't see, didn't notice, right? So very, very important. Yes, Saturday, daytime, and Sunday, hard lesson. Yeah, absolutely, man. Great. Mr. Riley's World. I used to do that as well. So Mr. Riley used to do that as well. Great. Very good. Cool. Awesome, guys. Well, hopefully this was helpful to you. I know that everybody has their own different ways of doing things, and I can definitely appreciate that, right? I respect you guys for doing that. I just wanted to share with you and answer this question. I get asked a lot of how I manage my time. And yeah, it's hopefully something that's helpful. You guys can take one nugget out of it. Then I am super happy. And so let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat which one of these, if any. If none of them, totally fine to tell me as well. All right, let me know. But if there's one of them that kind of struck you and something that you may want to put into action, whether it's the tools or the best practices, then let me know. I always kind of want to know if there's anything you want me to expand on and dig deeper into. But I think this is an important topic, is to talk about, like, how do you spend your day? How do you become more productive? How are you, sort of being more efficient and using your time wisely? It's really important that we are doing things that matter, right? Doing things that matter. I'm preparing this talk. I'm preparing this talk at VidFest next week of, how to become a full-time creator. And I get, over the years, I've been blessed to be able to talk to a lot of full-time creators, some of the best creators in the market right now. And one of the things that I want to share that I've noticed with full-time creators is they remove things. They remove things from their strategy, revenue streams that aren't working. A lot of people, we're all adding things. We all want to add, like, hey, I see this thing, this shiny object. Hey, I should launch this. I should do this, do that. I should get somebody to do this for me, or I should get into this. I should start TikTok or whatever. I should start a new channel. We're all adding. And I've noticed, thinking back to all of the awesome creators I get to talk to, is that the best creators out there, they remove things. They're like, this isn't working. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to simplify. I'm going to simplify. And so they're not always adding, and so they're removing. And I think that's a very important lesson that we don't notice enough, is that what are the things that we can remove so that we can make room for the things that are working, right? And so I think that's really important. So wanted to just share that with you guys. Again, hopefully you guys are blessed by it. Jeff Geronimo, love this stream. Thank you, man. Thank you so much. And again, glad to see you back on YouTube, my man. What did you say? Jeff, I noticed myself that I do a lot of couch potato moments right now. Burnout is really real. I didn't see it coming. Yeah, man. So it's very important. Very important. All right. So great. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, guys. I'm going to leave this up. I'm going to leave this as an actual YouTube video. But if you're watching this on a podcast, you want to see the video version, then hop on to YouTube. Make sure you guys are subscribed on the podcast app, if you're listening to the podcast, or here on YouTube. We're getting so close to 8,000 subs. And so come and join me to hit that milestone. And then let's head for 10,000. That's my goal. I'm going to share it out with you guys. 10,000 subs by the end of the year, 2022. Let's see if we hit it. All right. But thanks for being here with me. Appreciate each and every one of you. And we'll talk to you all very soon. Take care.